everyone. Welcome to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Kevin O'Sullivan. You watch us together on the political asylum with Kevin O'Sullivan. And I had to tease this episode because I know that there are a lot of people anxious for it after this news. Kevin, we've debated it for months, potentially years. The Daily Mail claims they have the official answer, that Netflix vows to stand by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after 5 years of absolute frustration, chaos, and misery. What's your verdict? We'll get into some of the details, but I'd love your initial reaction because I got to hear it and I loved it. It was pretty good.
I am skeptical, to say the least. This emanates from a season launch event for Netflix in Los Angeles. And it's the chief content officer of Netflix, Bella Bajaria, obviously telling some journalists who approached her and said, what about Harry and Meghan? Are they for the chop? And Bella Bajaria has delivered a very upbeat kind of message saying, no, we're very excited to still be working with Harry and Meghan. And she was particularly excited about With Love Meghan, the cooking lifestyle show that they postponed back in early January. And won't come out until March the 4th, which doesn't indicate great excitement to me. Now, she also talked, this woman, Bella Bajaria, about Meet Me at the Lake, the book that Harry and Meghan have optioned to turn into a film. She said it's in development. Well, actually, it's in what they call development hell. Nothing has happened with it at all. Whether or not Meghan finally gets to grips with it, I don't know. But I believe that what we're talking about here is an executive of a big broadcasting company, Netflix, talking up what they're doing. I've been to many an event like this, and I'm sure you have too, Kinsey. You go up to the chief content officer or the chief executive or the marketing director and say, hey, this contract, these programs you've got coming up, are they crap? And they never go, yeah, they're really crap and we're really disappointed and we're going to axe their contract. They never, ever say this. So, look, I genuinely hope for Harry and Meghan's sake that they hang on to this Netflix contract. But reading between the lines of this story that the Daily Mail has published, let's wait and see. At the very least, Netflix, again, if you read between the lines, what they're kind of saying is, well, we've got With Love Meghan coming out on March the 4th, and we're very excited about that. I think the translation for that is, we've got With Love Meghan coming out on March the 4th, and if that tanks, like Polo did, like everything else they did, they're history, they're gone. So a lot is riding on With Love Meghan still. So, I don't want to be sort of downbeat about this, but I think we're in a holding pattern here. Let's wait and see how With Love Meghan does on March the 4th. And if Netflix are so excited, as Bella Bajaria said, why at this big launch event was With Love Meghan not even mentioned, not trailed, not banner headlined, nothing, not even mentioned. So this was to launch a whole raft of upcoming programs. We've got this.
Well, she was mentioned, Kevin. She was just the butt of the joke. She was mentioned on
yeah,
stage.
but not by Netflix.
Exactly. But she got her mention. I just don't think she liked what the mention that she got.
Yeah. So Netflix are not even putting her in the package. So I'm sure Netflix's attitude is this. Well, yeah, look, we'll stick With Love Meghan out, and we'll see how it goes. If it's a smash hit, hey, maybe we're back in business. But Bella Bajaria also went on to say, yeah, it's fantastic, this take on Meghan, the lifestyle, California, Montecito. Montecito? Yeah. Who cares about Montecito? There's a
where she wants her privacy.
There's a fantastic article in the Sunday Times over here in Britain, just this Sunday gone by, which the writer, very good writer called Kate Glass, she went there and did a great big feature and described it as Montecito as the most boring place she had ever been to in her life. It is a pharmacy store. It is anodyne. It is beige. It is full of very rich white people, and all the people of colour do all the service industries. They're the waiters and the gardeners. I think it's a community that needs to be looked at, actually, in terms of its diversity, because it's kind of non-existent. However, Kate Glass said the most boring place she'd ever been to in her life. I've been there a fair few times when I used to live in LA. I used to go up to Santa Barbara for the weekend, and I can confirm Montecito just makes you want to fall asleep. So if Netflix is saying, oh, everyone's going to be so excited to find out all about Montecito, forget it. It's a cure for insomnia. So her excitement, and she said, oh, it's a great show, and you get to look at it and you think, oh, I gotta make that pasta dish, or pasta dish as they say in America. No, that's exactly why it's not going to work. Nobody cares about pasta dishes. Nobody cares about Montecito lifestyle. I think it's a very bad concept at the wrong time. I mean, bringing out a program about how to make expensive food for your expensive friends in your expensive mansions at a time when most of America, like in Britain, is suffering from the cost of living crisis is tone deaf, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just to jump off what you said, that the chief content officer, there was an hour-long presentation of Netflix's biggest projects for the year. Zero acknowledgement of any Archwell projects. So no Meghan, no Meet Me at the Lake. And when they were asked if the movie Meet Me at the Lake was definitely coming out, Netflix insisted it is in development. It is a great book. She had it, and we are happy to do it. That's not an answer. They added, we have things in development. Everyone is excited about what is coming. I mean, it is just Chat GPT not answering a question while saying something, basically just, talking in fluff. Asked where Netflix specifically stood with their deal when it came to Harry and Meghan. Netflix told the Mail, we have Meghan's new show coming out, which is great. It is such a great take on a lifestyle show and showcase for California, Montecito, and nature. It really has great takeaways. I was like, oh my God, I want to really do that pasta. That's really great, easy takeaways on life. I'm really excited about it coming out. Kevin, that's not a yes or a no. That is verbal vomit. That is not a yes or a no. I feel like there's something disingenuous about this entire article to suggest that Harry and Meghan are a complete go, or that anything I just read to you came off as a vow to stand by the Sussexes after 5 extremely difficult years. You remain excited. Of course, you're going to say you remain excited. I'll say this, I'm with you. I'm not saying that I hope anything is lost, because I would never wish anyone any sort of negativity. But if this is a go, and I'm incorrect, that I think that this headline is an exaggeration on somebody just trying to BS their way through an interview, and knowing how litigious Harry and Meghan are, if she did say anything that even remotely came off negative, Meghan would jump at the opportunity to use that to say that's defamation, or the reason my show bombed is because of that one comment made at Netflix's upfronts events. The way that Harry and Meghan's friends said that Netflix took control over the Polo show. So the Polo failure was actually on Netflix, not on Harry and Meghan. But let's say it does work out. It does seem in line with one option that you and I have previously discussed, the case-by-case scenario, or project by project. You bring us a project, we'll consider it. But I think, Kevin, the idea of the mystery development deal is out. There is no return on investment when it comes to the Sussexes. But I think Netflix clearly likes access to royalty. I mean, someone should probably tell them that Fergie is cheaper. I think it's pride. They don't want to look like they've made a bad business decision. And we suspected a commitment when we learned of Netflix's interest in the merchandising aspect of Markle's lifestyle pursuits. But I don't think that this is truly a yes. I think at the end of the day, it's probably like, well, let's try Meet Me at the Lake and then we'll see what happens. But that mystery business deal, we just want you to sign on the dotted line so that we have exclusivity to you. Why, when you're walking down red carpets for Paramount and you haven't promoted a single project for us? And then also, to your point, really quickly, I want to say I've driven around Hollywood. There are no billboards for Meghan. There were billboards for Harry and Meghan. There are no billboards for With Love Meghan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, when Netflix first signed the gruesome twosome up, what was it, 3-4 years ago? You know, that was a good kind of business maneuver. You know, they were in the news. Everybody was fascinated by them. How was their life going to be in America? They've just done Megxit. They were making headlines all over the world. I can see why Netflix signed them up. Now, here we are in 2025. And, you know, make no mistake, Netflix are extremely disappointed with what they've got out of their relationship with Harry and Meghan. I mean, Meghan's done her best, but it hasn't been particularly productive. I mean, Harry has been a disaster for them. And any organisation in the world of media that, for example, made that series Polo, Harry's series Polo, and look at that disaster. No organisation in the media is going to go, oh, that's great, we're still very excited about these two. They're going to be going, hang on, that was the tank of the year. That was an absolute catastrophe. This couple, I don't know. As you say, they bring them a project and they're interested, yes, maybe. You know, that would always be worth doing. But as a lot of publicists, image makers, executives in Hollywood are now saying, after the consistent allegations of serious bullying of staff against Meghan in Britain and in Montecito, and the recent 8,000-word destruction of her as a boss by Vanity Fair magazine, people in Hollywood are going, this too, they are literally saying, this pair are absolute poison. They are toxic. And no media company wants to gather around toxic people. So here's where I'd say Netflix are. They are prepared to roll the last dice with Love Meghan. And who knows, maybe it'll be a massive international hit, at which point they might do more projects with her. But if it flops, you know, forget it. That's where I would say Netflix are at. And they won't be signing another $80 million, $100 million contract. Because although they got some stuff out of Harry and Meghan for that money, it wasn't enough. And now they're still in receipt of this enormous amount of money. And what are we looking at, really? A stupid little cooking show, you know, freezing edible flowers into ice cubes and making pasta. And a movie that isn't.
Which you could get on TikTok. You don't have to wait till March 4th to get some of the BS that she's put on this show. You can get it on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram within seconds. There's nothing original about this, which is why it's so funny that this lady is trying to brand this as some miraculous discovery, this show. It's like, if I want to make a good pasta, it's as simple as a Google search. You know, it's not like Meghan is presenting us with anything that is unique. But you covered entertainment for years. You lived in Hollywood. And I want to ask you about this. Netflix has a reputation for frequently canceling shows prematurely, often after just 1 or 2 seasons, which leads to significant backlash from fans who feel that many of their shows, good shows, are cut short before they have a chance to fully develop and reach their potential. And this is primarily due to Netflix's data-driven approach, is what they call it, to decide which shows to renew based on viewership numbers, even if a show does have a dedicated fan base, or, you know, like that cult-like fan base. Newsweek points out the challenge is verifying these numbers because Netflix is so secretive regarding viewership for their shows. And you know, they compile their own most watched lists internally, but we don't have access to this. Business-wise and industry-wise, does it reflect negatively on Netflix? We don't have the numbers. They did give us the numbers for Harry and Meghan's initial show. They've been incredibly secretive about part of Invictus, Live to Lead, Polo. Industry-wise, Will, other people in the streaming industry frown upon Netflix, taking cutting some really incredible shows like Lock and Key, some really creative, fun shows prematurely, but hanging on to this couple that seem incredibly problematic, dramatic, and with a questionable work ethic, almost lazy and not creative.
Well, they're going to be subjected to what everybody else is subjected to. I mean, the media now, broadcasting, is a numbers job. You can see exactly how many people are watching, when, for how long. Engagement's very important. If you get an hour-long drama, you'll be surprised how many people don't bother watching it for the hour. Most broadcasting companies are very happy if they watch for 20 minutes out of 60. They'll go, well, that's good. So these are all the statistics that they're taking on board. So time and time again, you're going to get big fans of very good shows who are furious because Netflix just axed them because they're not getting the numbers. It's ruthless. Now, Meghan is going to get subjected to that kind of really, really dangerous scrutiny. I mean, minute by minute, second by second. They do it in my business as well. We are monitored second by second by second. You can watch exactly what the audience is doing. And so I do a nightly show that you're often on, Kinsey, and they are watching the graph exactly what the audience. If you say something they don't like, the graph will go like that. If you're doing a topic they don't like, it will go like that. And then if you're doing a topic they do like, they go like that. So they go, yes, more of that, more of that, more of that. Stop doing that, more of that, more of that. That's what it's like now. And Netflix are no exception to that syndrome. They are watching not just minute by minute, second by second about global engagement to shows. And the question for Meghan is, will she pass that extremely onerous test? It's going to be tough, I think.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting because I read that article as it's done. Netflix is standing by Harry and Meghan, but you and I are both saying we don't believe that to be true, based on the fact that, well, let's jump into this article I sent you from December of 2024, Netflix exhausted by Meghan Markle. And this is regarding Meghan's influence on the Polo show. Amid the failure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 5-part documentary about Polo, sources admit Netflix executives are exhausted by working with Meghan Markle, and her future at the streaming giant rests on her make or break cooking show. I think you and I, despite the fact that this was written in December, are still here. This is still how we feel. We're not writing this off as a done deal. Harry and Meghan and Netflix are comfortable together moving forward. The Daily Beast mentions that Harry and Meghan promised content that informs but also gives hope. What the hell about freezing flowers gives you hope, other than you might have some ice water later in the day? I hope I have some ice water in my Stanley Cup. Truthful and relatable. There was nothing truthful about portions of their original docuseries that were fact checked after it aired. Some of it was the palace was like, we literally do not have the gallery up that you're claiming we have. That is racist. So some of it was not even remotely truthful, and they didn't have a fact checker on it. But it said, this article that appeared in December really went into some experts in Hollywood. The lack of proper visible press campaign for a series from Harry and Meghan raises an eyebrow, to say the least, with Sean McNulty. This is a producer in Hollywood, and that was about Polo. And you're telling us you're super hyped about Meghan Markle's show, and no billboards, no mention at your upfronts. You know what? I just feel like we're being lied to, I guess. And while I understand they have to do it, there's a portion of me that's really resentful that we have to tolerate it, you know?
Well, I mean, I think Netflix, to be fair, I mean, you go to these events, be it Netflix, be it NBC, be it Disney, whatever. You don't go up to executives and say, what do you think of this show that you've got coming up in March? What do you think? They never turn around and go, oh, that crap. You know,
Yeah.
they always talk everything up. So I wouldn't go, Netflix are just being typically showbiz enthusiastic about their own content, even though privately we know they've got their serious doubts. They're never going to talk it down. However, this is the situation we are in. Just to reiterate, this is a holding pattern. Netflix couldn't really give much of a damn about With Love Meghan. Otherwise, they wouldn't have delayed it for 2 months. But they have. When it comes out on March the 4th, Netflix's attitude is purely, you know, let's roll the dice. If people watch it, great. If it's a hit, great. But if it's not, that's what we expected. Sayonara, goodbye. It was the. I mean, look at Polo. I mean, look, the Polo. Where was Harry? Where were Meghan? Where were they? Why did they not promote that? There was no publicity for that whatsoever. When is Meghan?
And just to your point too, the Daily Beast pointed out that Harry and Meghan's friends, who often do promote things on their behalf, like Jam, have either done nothing or very little to promote their Netflix projects. I guess Nacho Polo only posted about the Polo show 3 times is a comment that they made. But yeah, I mean, they don't. You could even ask your friend. I mean, Prince Harry gave Nacho a platform that he hadn't had since the early 2000s when he was apparently the sexy polo player. I don't know. I was too busy watching The Hills. Apparently, I missed the polo phase. But Prince Harry gives them this platform. You would think they would be going crazy about how excited they were for the opportunity online. Their friends aren't even promoting their content.
And you wonder, I mean, we've got a couple of months to go. What is it now? No, a month really now, isn't it? Before With Love Meghan gets unleashed on an unsuspecting public. What is she going to do? Where's the PR? Where is the publicity? Is she going to give some interviews, or is she going to do all this pretend privacy-loving crap again? You know, the privacy that she yearns for, that the people of Montecito have complete contempt for her about. You know, that they yearn for privacy, but they also yearn for publicity. Well, the publicity that the gruesome twosome yearn for is just personal. It's about them. It's just like, oh, what do we look like together? You know, now they're apparently going to be seen more together in public, having not been seen together. It's all about them. It's not about the products that they're putting out there. So is she going to push With Love Meghan, or is it just going to be like Polo? It's just going to come out. Because if it just comes out, that is an even stronger indication that Netflix are neither here nor there about it.
That's a really good point. Because we did see her push archetypes. She appeared on multiple magazine covers. She wanted archetypes to work, and we saw her market herself and market archetypes. And she had a billboard in Times Square. So really quickly before I let you go, I want your reaction to this. Tony Case, a marketing expert, told the Daily Beast, the critics have universally slammed Polo. Harry and Meghan are box office poison. Of course, everyone is running away from it in every direction to not pick up the stench of this colossal bomb. He added, from a brand perspective, I'm not really sure anything can be done at this point to reverse consumers' obvious apathy towards the Sussexes. They set out to conquer America, but nobody here, it turns out, found them or what they're peddling to be particularly compelling. I feel like that is a very good description of what's going on even now, still with Love Meghan. Do you agree? And do you agree with his assessment that there's no way for them to reverse this feeling in the States, the ick that the states seem to have with them right now?
I think it's a very tough assessment, but I think it's on the money. I think it's absolutely right. You know, those two came to America with the world at their feet because everybody was talking about them. Everybody was writing about them, making headlines all over the world, all over the television, all over the radio. You know, they were big news. Now, their job was to capitalize on that, to stay interesting, to stay fascinating, to stay in the news. They haven't done that. And I think it's because they're actually, when you boil it right down, they're both pretty boring. Meghan can't open her mouth without sending everyone to sleep. She's a dullard. She's a worthy dullard. She thinks entertainment is in doing worthy things, you know, in helping the world, helping people. I'm all for that, but that isn't entertaining. Harry's not entertaining because he couldn't give a damn, because he's never had to really do a day's work in his life. He was made from the day he was born. So he finds motivation almost impossible. How can he be motivated? If you don't have to make your own money, why? Why bother? She is motivated not by money, but because she wants to be famous. But she does not know how to hang on to that elusive entity that is fame. She's lost it. And I think that assessment is exactly right. America, indeed Britain, indeed the world looks at her and says, both of them, and say, well, what have they got to give? Their story is no longer compelling, and they are not producing anything that is particularly fixating, that particularly makes me want to watch. So I would say good luck with Love Meghan on March the 4th, Meghan, because God knows you're going to need it.
Can I just make one more point before you go? I feel like you and I've had this discussion before, but I do feel like the way they could reverse this is if she would embrace her inner bee. And you know how those shows, those reality shows where the nanny's like really mean, or Kelly Catrone, who is a tough PR, tough fashion publicist in New York. She had a show and it was like people like ducking her and dodging her because she was such a tough, terrifying boss. That's the entertainment we would accept from Meghan Markle.
You mean reality show? A reality show, fly on the wall, with filming Meghan bullying her staff, reducing grown men to tears. I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
Exactly. But I'm being completely serious. Like I think that I just think that one of the reasons everything she's trying isn't working is because there's nothing authentic about Meghan trying to help the world with another pasta dish.
It's exactly what you and I talked about this on my show last night. It's exactly the problem. Meghan lives in a world where she thinks that the truth about her doesn't matter. The truth can be created by publicists and image makers. So the truth that she wants created is she's a wonderful person who cares about people, wants to make the world a better place, goes down to the Los Angeles fires just to help people. My publicists can make people believe this. Well, to an extent, but you get away with bad deeds once in showbiz. You might just about get away with them twice. 3 times, you're unlucky. It's unlikely. That's 3 times serious bullying allegations. And people think that that is the truth about her. So once again, this is Meghan believing that she can push her truth onto the public and get them to believe she's a lovely person. The problem is that Meghan will never get it through her thick head that her truth is not the truth. And people have woken up to the fact that they don't think they're getting the real Meghan. They think they're getting a plastic image, and that will be her downfall, I believe.
Yes, you can't control it the way you used to. Look at Blake Lively. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are learning the hard way right now.
The truth always comes out. Yeah, the truth always comes out.
If you agree with us, disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Kev, love you. See you in a couple of days. I'm on with the Political Asylum with Kevin O'Sullivan Mondays and Thursdays. So I'll see you again soon.